Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N network and channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 137, and the title of episode 137 is When the Narcissist Chooses Change. So what we're going to be talking about in this episode is when narcissists themselves actually choose to try to reform themselves and get away from their narcissistic behavior that they do with everyone around them. Now, as we've talked about in some previous episodes, not necessarily related to this topic particularly, but related to when narcissists actually do become self-aware, or when they actually choose to try to change things that are going on in their lives. We've talked about the factors that with narcissists, probably the majority of them, let's say 99% of narcissists will never want to come forward in a manner that will divulge what they are to anyone around them, and certainly not to any mental health professionals. Even mental health professionals that diagnose narcissism and diagnose people who have not only NPD disorder, but the other associated disorders that go along with narcissism, like bipolar disorder, borderline, ASPD, and anxiety disorder, and everything else that goes along with NPD in the narcissistic disorder spectrum. Often these psychologists and therapists, they do not want to tag a person with having narcissistic personality disorder. If it's a female therapist, they certainly do not want to tag another female with having this disorder, for sure. If it's a male, they may also frown away from tagging a female patient with having narcissistic personality disorder as well too, because tagging a female as having narcissistic personality disorder is very stigmatizing to them. And mental health professionals, psychologists, and therapists, they know this. So this is why commonly males are more often diagnosed with NPD disorder than females are. Often females are diagnosed with having bipolar disorder or something else going on with them, or histrionic personality disorder, or something of this nature. Sadly, one of the things we're learning here through the science of narcissism, and some of the things I've learned over the past couple of months here, is that when you tag a person, a female or a male, with having, let's say, bipolar personality disorder or borderline disorder or histrionic personality disorder, what that basically means is that that person has a form of NPD. For the longest time in psychiatry here, there's been a lot of gray areas as to what's going on with people who have narcissistic personality disorder and what narcissistic personality disorder really is. But I actually watched a video a couple of weeks ago where some specialists in these disorders were discussing the factor that the more they go down the road here and the more they understand about personality disorders, the more that they realize that when a person has bipolar disorder, they actually just have a form of NPD. When they have histrionic personality disorder, they just have a form of NPD. And the list goes right down here with some other disorders included in here as well too. This also includes people who have dissociative identity disorder as well too, and antisocial personality disorder. These are all now being subcategorized as different forms of NPD with different things related to them within the confines of each separate disorder. Now again, some psychologists out there, there may be some psychologists out there watching my videos. If you disagree with what I'm saying here, this is fine. I would say to you, go look up the cutting edge science on what's being said about this, because I do this literally on a weekly basis. I spend about 25 hours a week researching stuff to do with narcissistic personality disorder for my channel. So when I'm talking about this here, I am not talking out of my hat here. I've looked at this, I've watched video presentations on current things going on with this. I do this on a weekly basis to try to keep as up to date as I can. So if you have not come across this information, please go out there and look for it. It is readily out there on the internet, and you can find up-to-date information on these research topics, because I was able to find this and find quite a bit of information on some modern research being done into this, and the factor that some people are now understanding that when these disorders are present in people, these are also forms of narcissistic personality disorder. That being said, we'll get back on the topic here of when a narcissist comes forward and tries to seek help for their narcissism. Now, again, like we said in previous videos, this does not happen very often. It happens in less than 1% of narcissists. This is why narcissism is so prolific, because when people have it, they don't seek treatment for it. The way the narcissist brain works is it's in a self-protection mode. It does not want to be pulled out of that self-protection mode. It does not want to be tagged as being narcissistic. A person who has narcissistic personality disorder does not want that disorder to be revealed in general to anyone, let alone a mental health professional. So it does not happen very often. But when a narcissistic person does kind of have a revolutionary moment where they think maybe they do have NPD, or something isn't right particularly with them with their behavior, and maybe they want to seek, assistance to find out what exactly is going on. When this moment arrives with a narcissist, this is an instance where they have to take the full lead for this. You cannot push a narcissist to go seek treatment if you think that they're a narcissist and they need help. They will not do this. They do not like being pushed to do anything in any particular way, especially being pushed in a way that may have them being found out to be a narcissist or to have NPD disorder. So when a narcissist comes to this point, if you have one in your life, because I am actually dealing with several narcissistic people on my channel who have become self-aware that they have NPD disorder, and these people are currently involved in efforts to try to get control of their narcissistic function in their lives. These were people who were questioning at some particular time whether or not they actually had NPD based on some of the things that they were doing in their life and some of the things that they were doing to other people in their life. And they've consulted me on the network to ask me what I thought of them. And when these people have come forward, I've dealt with them in a very respectful and a very ginger way, because I know that no narcissist wants to be talked about being a narcissist if that's what they truly are. So when narcissists come out and seek treatment for things of this nature, or for having NPD disorder, or to just discover if they truly do have this problem, it's a very revolutionary time for them, because 99% of narcissists will never do this. But when they do, and the experience that I'm having currently with several people that I know who are seeking treatment for their narcissistic personality disorder, and they're actively making changes in their lives so they do not continue to propagate that behavior against other people, this is a wonderful, beneficial thing. I will never attack a narcissist who seeks treatment in this particular way, or somebody who suspects that they may have something wrong with them in this way. If they come forward and voluntarily seek my help or assistance or information, I will be very frank and straightforward with them in what my opinions of what may be going on with them might be. And those will be based on science first and foremost for myself, and psychology, of course. But I will help them in whatever way that I can, because this is what I'm currently doing with several people off of my N.A.R.C.N network who may indeed be narcissists. And just the factor of them coming forward is a very difficult thing for a narcissist to actually do. But when they do this, it becomes a constant struggle for them, because as we know, narcissism is not a curable disease. If you are a narcissist, you're going to have narcissism the rest of your life. You're going to probably fall back into that very easily if you don't consciously make efforts to not do that. There are experts out there today, like Professor Sam Vaknin, who himself is a narcissist, and who will tell you that he struggles on a daily basis. Okay, perhaps struggles is not the right word. He attempts on a daily basis not to let his narcissism control him, and not to let him do things against other people that may be of a negative nature. So narcissists, when they come out and they seek reform for themselves, they have to actively do this on a conscious level, on a daily basis, to try to get away from the things that they do that may cause them problems, or may cause them to put their narcissism on other individuals. And it's an everyday struggle, just like an addict would struggle to stay away from being an alcoholic for the rest of their lives. But I commend anybody out there who has NPD and may be doing something of this nature to try to reform themselves and get away from this behavior, because I understand it is indeed an incredibly hard thing to overcome. And I would say to you, I have much respect for you if you are trying to currently do this, if you are indeed a narcissist and are trying to get away from being a narcissist in your life. So again, when a narcissist chooses change here, it's a very beneficial thing. Sadly, it only happens in less than 1% of narcissists, and this is what makes narcissism so difficult to deal with and to treat. Psychologists and therapists don't diagnose it properly, or they try to stay away from diagnosing it, even when they may realize that that person may indeed have narcissistic personality disorder. Sometimes narcissists hide their NPD very well, and psychologists and mental health professionals can't even detect that they have NPD, so they don't get diagnosed with NPD again for that reason, because those mental health professionals don't see it, or they're not prolifically enough trained to actually identify that that person has NPD. So there are very, very many reasons why also a narcissist may not be able to get help, because they just can't be seen as having NPD for some particular reason. They're not revealing it within their psyche and within the way that they are as a person. But again, when a narcissist chooses to change, it's a very beneficial thing to them. And I think that this will definitely change their lives in some greater way and make them a better person with the people who are around them. So again, I would respectfully commend any narcissist coming out that would be doing that, because again, change in this nature is very hard for a person with NPD. So this was just what I wanted to talk about in episode 137. Just a brief little bit about how narcissists may deal with revealing themselves and seeking assistance within their narcissism. I'm going to say to you guys, stay tuned. I've got some great content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network, and also on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I hope that you guys will stay tuned for those upcoming episodes, and I've got plenty of other stuff coming up, including some episodes on bipolar disorder and histrionic personality disorder, and how those relate to other personality disorders and their functionality. So I'm going to say to you guys, I hope you guys have a great day. Please stay tuned. I'm going to catch you really soon in some upcoming videos.